Hello YouTube. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to create a Docker container and deploy it in a micro Kubernetes. So first I'm gonna use micro Kubernetes here, but it actually works for any version of Kubernetes that you guys will be using. So just do sudo snap install micro kts dash classic. Let it start. On the other side I'm gonna actually look into instruction to download Docker. So I'll just be copying and pasting all the instruction that's on the Docker CE web page. We can just follow that instruction. So right now I'm just adding a key, verifying it's a genuine Docker that's supported by Docker community. Just updating it and then installing Docker container engine into my Kubernetes machine here. Let's just wait everything to be finished here. It'll take a while. Now let's clear all of this mess here. And now since we have micro Kubernetes and Docker installed in our virtual machine here, you can use any machine here. Let's just check the status of our installation. Everything looks fine. I'm more concerned about MetalLB. Why? I'm gonna talk about that in a bit, but let's check the version of the Docker. Looks like everything is fine. So this will be the structure of directory that I'm going to be creating here. First, what I'm going to do is like create an application directory. Inside it will be a Docker file, and then I'll create another directory source, and then we'll be hosting index.php. So here I'm trying to enable you could do it for all of the add-ons. You can actually enable it, but I need MetalLB so that my Kubernetes deployment services can have a IP assigned to it, and it can load balance the network traffic to multiple parts. We are going to be doing that just a bit in this video. So just to make it easier, I'm creating a alias kubectl instead of typing micro kts dot kubectl all every time. I'll just create my job easier here. So now I have everything set up. I'm gonna create a directory called application. Inside it, like I said earlier, inside it'll have one more directory called source. It's gonna be hosting our index file, while Dockerfile will be outside of the source file, like I have shown that in the tree. So we'll go to the application directory, create a new directory called source, and so I'm just gonna create gedit index.php inside source directory, and just be typing a simple PHP script to echo, let's say, hello YouTube. I'll save this file. Alright, so let's create a Docker file inside a application directory now. Docker file should be capital. You can actually literally give any name to it, but just for simplification we'll stick with Docker file here. So from this is very critical. Basically it extracts the image file from the Docker hub. I'll show you in a bit. Like there are already bunch of images on Docker hub, so I'm gonna copy from source the index file from source to var www.html, and I'm gonna expose this container to port 80. So So basically, if you just go in the Docker hub, you can actually find a lots of PHP images. I happen to choose 7.0 just because it was easy, but there are like lots of PHP version, as you can see in this list on your left side here. And if you scroll all the way down, there are like some instruction on how to write a sample Docker file. If you are more concerned like what is inside a PHP file, what is the base image for that, for this one it looks like it's running a Debian Bluster Slim, but it's very complicated file, so it's out of scope for this video. But if you want to look into like what are those PHP base images made of, you can actually look into that in Docker Hub. So let's save this, let's close, let's clear this mess out and see. If you look into the tree like I saw on the left hand side, it looks something like similar to that. So let's go into the application directory and let's build Docker. Dot means like I'm trying to build a Docker image on the same directory. That's tag, and let's give it a name, my app. Now it's gonna pull all the images that I earlier asked on my Docker file. It's actually pulling it from the Docker Hub right now. So my images is created. So I'm gonna, before I push those Docker images into a local registry, I'm gonna have to create a local registry, and that's the command to create a local registry. Just create a new do this in a new terminal and don't close it. If you close it, then you're not gonna be able to push those Docker images into your local machine. Just verifying the Docker registry server is running, I'm just gonna type localhost : and then the port number that we chose was 5000. So this should, okay, there is no error. That means it's running. Our Docker registry server is up and running. Let's go back to the terminal and let's see the Docker images. It's so Docker registry as one of the images. It's running its own container to host our local images within our machine. So we want to tag is just a way of giving a name. So on the same directory application where we created our local image earlier, I'm gonna name that local image my app, and then I'm gonna tag it as a local host and then put it in a port 500, just so that we can push this image in our local registry. So this is a command to push that image to a local registry. So it's starting to push that images into a local registry now. Let's just give it a second. All right, so our local images is in our registry. That's my app is something that we created on machine locally, but the way Kubernetes work is actually it needs to pull the image from somewhere. So that's why like we created a local Docker registry. You could create your own server, like but you know, that's one of the way. So there's a concept of deployment where you actually tell how many replicas that you want to be deployed. Services actually exposes your deployment to outside world. So let's create a deployment using the images we created. So that's a command, kubectl create deployment. Let's give it a name, new app, and then from image that we just created, localhost port 500, and the name of the image was my app. All right, so it's created. Let's check if it's already active. It's not ready. It's gonna take a while. Let's see if it's ready. Okay, there you go. Pod seems to be already running. So let's check the deployment. All right, there you go. There's a deployment ready. So now let's expose this deployment to the outer world so that network can be routing. could be routed to this parts. So that's how you do it. kubectl expose deployment. That's a new app that we just created, and we want to do it as a type load balancer, and then we want to give a port 80, but you could do literally any port there. But target port, we exposed our container earlier and port 80, so let's give target port 80. There you go. It says service is now exposed, and let's check the IP addresses of these services. So those are the pools of IP addresses earlier we assigned through MetalLB. Now let's go to the web browser and let's see if it's actually working. There you go. So we just created a Docker image, and then we deployed it in a Kubernetes already. So let's say our pods are getting too much of a traffic, and we're gonna scale it up. So that's how we do it. Now kubectl scale, let's say number of replicas to be 10 for a deployment called new app. It's very easy. So now it's scaled. Now if you see, it's actually it'll actually start to create more parts. So it's creating a containers, 10 of them, with same image that we just created earlier. So if you check a deployment now, there you go. Like we have 10 out of 10 pods running right now. So it can easily handle a lots of traffic. So if you want to check the YAML file, or so to say configuration file, you can just say describe and kubectl describe deployment, the name of the deployment. It will show you all the configuration for those deployments. And if you wanna, so that's my image, and let's clear this out. So if you wanna edit a deployment after it's deployed, you could easily do that. kubectl edit name of the deployment, and then there you go. Like all the configurations are there. You can actually change the number of replicas from here, or you could do it through command line, whichever is easier. So I didn't make any changes here. Let's create this out. So if you want to actually delete the deployment, the command is simple: kubectl delete deployment, name of the deployment. In our case, would be new app. So similarly, if you want to delete as service, you can just do kubectl delete services, svc new app, and then it'll just work. So if you want to check, that's the tree that I created. It's fairly simple. That's the image we created earlier. There are like few commands on your left of your screen right now. Those are the things. It's very easy to create an image and to deploy it in the Kubernetes.